What's up, you guys? Friendly Neighborhood Geek here, doing another little mini review on something I didn't plan on getting, but I randomly stumbled upon this item for a reasonable price. Um, and I was like, yeah, I never got this item back in the day when it came out. Excuse me, nose is a little stuffy. So I went ahead and got it, and I decided, I've said it a couple times in my videos, and I said my last review would be my last new toy review for a while, but this video, I promise you, most likely will be the last new toy review for a while. And when I say new, I mean as far as me buying a new figure. It's not like it could be, an older figure. Like this figure is pretty much a decade old at this point, but it can be just me getting a new figure in general. That'll probably be put on pause due to my current military plans, which I'll get into that um, towards the end of the video because I do have a little update in regards to that. But anyway, who are we looking at today? Um, so we are looking at Transformers Age of Extinction exclusive Legion class or Legends class Decepticon, a lot of names, Stinger. Yes, so this figure or this repaint, because this is, I don't know if you can see his face. This is I don't know if it'll come in that well. Yeah, I don't think it's going to come in focus that well. But this is a repaint of Transformers Prime Cyberverse Knockout, which is a character I've been wanting to get. I want to get the Legacy one. I've had chances where I could have bought that figure, but again, like with a lot of figures I want in my collection, since he's not too expensive, it's like, yeah, I'll get him eventually down the road. He's not a character I want right then and now, like how I might feel about another character. Um, but for those who don't know, and I kind of had a week, maybe like a year or two ago, where I just kind of talked about um, Transformer Age of Extinction toys. I have, let's see them together. I have the Takara exclusive Decepticon Stinger, which I did a review on. Who you never know, he might get a re-review and see the two of them together. See the very different size difference in scale. Um, so I will definitely, like I said, I guess we'll just go ahead and show their size comparison. So I'll definitely um, I'll definitely show the two of them in robot mode. So we'll probably cut so I can transform him and transform Barricade, but I'll go ahead and show them together. And I'll get into the uniqueness of having these two together. I'll get into that as we get into the video. Um, but yeah, so this figure or repaint, unfortunately, he was the only way us in America could get um, this character. Like I said, that the deluxe class version, see them together, the deluxe class version, and lastly, see him with Ironhide. I'm not gonna, I don't know, I don't know if I'll bother to transform Ironhide. Take my word for it. Ironhide's bigger than Barricade and Stinger, so see them together. The core class. This is an old Legion class toy. So yeah, take my word for it. I'm not gonna bother to transform him. But yeah, so like I said, this figure was the only way you could get this character in the States. This particular version that I have, which unfortunately has some paint scuffs on them, you see on the front of the car. So I am gonna paint over that. I do have some black acrylic paint, and I do have some black nail polish. So I'm rather going to use either one of those to cover up those spots and kind of make him look a little bit more cleaner. Um, but like I said, so this repaint was only available at Walmart. I believe both versions were a Walmart exclusive. So the one I have, unfortunately, came in a 3-pack with Bumblebee and Strafe. There's a scene in Age of Extinction, and like I said, I did a Age of Extinction week where I talked about all the Age of Extinction toys I have in my collection, their own individual reviews, and I kind of went into how the toy line was. You could kind of look at it as it kind of went downhill in quality, or you could look at it as they were trying different things. I kind of see it as a mix of both. Honestly, I just feel like the earlier toy lines had more variety of characters and sets and repaints and all that cool stuff. And with Age of Extinction and the Last Night, to an extent, they had the more kind of, they really tried a lot of different things. Plushes, more gimmicky figures for the younger demographic. We had our deluxe figures, the more adult collector style figures, or figures for the older fans. They made a lot of repaints of those. Those they got their money's worth out of those molds. So they did a lot of different interesting things with the Age of Extinction toy line, that somewhat, a little bit of that carried over into the Last Night toy line. But like I said, so at Age of Extinction, there was a fight scene between Stinger and Bumblebee. In case you don't know who Stinger is, he was basically a clone. He was created by KSI, the company that was trying to create their own Transformers. He was basically a clone of Bumblebee. Some people kind of saw him as like, oh, it's like an evil version of Cliffjumper, which you could also see him as an evil Cliffjumper, or the closest we got to having a proper Cliffjumper in the Bayverse series. Cliffjumper did get a toy that was a repaint of Bumblebee back in the first movie, and I think he appeared in the comics, but we never properly saw him in the movies. Um, or you can see this as like Stinger's like Nemesis, like Nemesis Bumblebee, which is pretty cool. So he was an evil clone. He didn't have any speaking lines. He got his a few moments to shine where we saw him fight Bumblebee 1-on-1, and then we saw them fighting while on top of the Dinobot Strafe, which I used to own. I used to own Strafe. He was one of my favorite toys back then. Um, so Strafe, Bumblebee, the Legend, Legion class Bumblebee, and Stinger all came in a 3-pack together, which you can only get at Walmart. And how they were displayed in the packaging had like Strafe in his dinosaur mode with his wings out, and Stinger and Bumblebee were on top of the wings with their guns pointed at each other. So, like I said, since he came in a 3-pack, he's missing his weapon, which isn't a big deal. He's missing, like I said, of course, my purchase didn't come with the Strafe for the Bumblebee, which isn't a big deal. I might, try to get that down the line, maybe, because I really do like that 3-pack. Um, and like I said, the other version, which is what I would have liked to have gotten, and there were some listings for it on eBay, was the single carded version, which again was an exclusive only to Walmart, but they were wanting like $30 for that. It was new in packaging, and here and see, this is my thing, which really bothers me, which I've noticed. I've for the last few weeks have been shopping for these Legion Legend class Transformers, and they're very, very expensive. I mean, to the point where it doesn't feel, it feels like, I wouldn't say it doesn't feel fair, but it feels like, yeah, they're overpriced. You know, I forgot the terminology, but yeah, like the people are asking too much for these old figures, these old small figures. Like at this point, yes, they're collectibles, but they're still. I mean, look how small he is. Like he's the size of my thumb. And you want $30 for this? That's ridiculous. Um, that is, that makes me so upset. Now it's different if you're buying like a set of them loose or in packaging for like $50 or something. Okay, that's reasonable because I'm getting a whole bunch of them and they're new in packaging, like $50, maybe a little above $50. And you have the money to spend on that. Yeah, cool. Why not? I think that's reasonable because you're getting a set of these little figures. But to have, even if it's a rare one, to have them like 30, 40, 50, 60, especially if it's loose, like, yeah, that's like, I guess what the word I was looking for, scalper price. That is entirely overpriced, and I do not agree with that at all. It's a shame. So unfortunately, Stinger falls in that category since he was an exclusive only to Walmart, and this was your only way to obtain this character, unless, like I said, you had the means to import the toy. And so unless you had a job or you had an allowance and you had enough money to put towards importing the deluxe version, which is a really solid toy, even though the car this in the movie he didn't turn into a Camaro. I forgot what type of car he turned into, but I don't care. I love this Bumblebee mold. This is one of my favorite movie Bumblebees. I had three of these. My last night version, which was a variant, I put that a set of other figures I sold off. So I just have this version, Stinger, and I have the Age of Extinction version of Bumblebee. So yeah, I sold my last night repaint of that mold. Um, so like I said, yeah, huge bummer. Um, yeah. So all that all that background, let's finally transform him, which is pretty easy once you figure out what to do. Just I guess unpeg the arms. And like I said, I love the black and the red on him. So the difference is with the single carded version, the tip of his toes are painted black, which I'm gonna fill those in after this review. I'm not sure if there are any other differences. So, but on the packaging of the single carded version, it shows this mold without his toes being painted, which I thought was interesting. So, like I said, you see, I folded this piece down. See, fold the legs down, fold this piece on the back. And then we separate the legs like that. And then we fold these arms. Will fold up. So then, well, we fold the front of the car down, exposes his head, and then the arm pieces will fold up on the side of the wheels. You see back here, and then there we have Decepticon Stinger. So I wanted to get Crankcase and I forgot the other character's name, but the Dread characters from Dark of the Moon. I wanted to get them as Cyberverse figures, and I'll probably get their Studio Series incarnations as well. But again, they were just too expensive to buy. Like if I found a listing selling them together for a good deal, I probably would have got them. But they were too expensive to buy, separately. So I just passed on them. And out of curiosity, I looked to see if there were any listings for Stinger, and I found, one that I liked. And like I said, I paid less than $20 for him, so that was reasonable. Well, like I said, he had a really cool design. He was a cool character. I just wish, it would be odd. Like him and Scorn, I wish they would come back, in other continuities. But posability, kind of like with Barricade, arms are on a ball joint, so they can go 360. Like I said, feet could go back and forth. He has a toe joint due to the transformation. And that's about it. He's a basic figure, which isn't a bad thing. Like I said, getting this in a 3-pack with another little figure and then a big brand new Dinobot Deluxe figure was really cool. Like that, you're getting your money's worth. I don't think the face is going to come in that well, but which is a bummer. I wanted to focus on his face. Oh, it's going to bother me. It's going to bother me. It's not going to focus on his face. But I like that his Decepticon symbol is purple, or it's more of a pink. Well, it's more of a pinkish color, which I actually really like. It's pink. Dang, it's not going to come in. His eyes are pink, and he has like the black lines going down his face, that kind of looks like face paint. So again, I really, really like his design. He's very, very charming. I love the red, the black, and like the little pink Decepticon symbol, and his eyes are pink. Like it really works. It's cute, especially since, which you'll see with this version, his eyes are green. But real quick, but like I said, so because we're getting into the size comparison, do I recommend? And I'll transform Barricade. Do I recommend that this figure? I would say yes. He's very charming for what he is. But again, unless you're just interested in having that repaint, or you're interested in having all the versions of Stinger, like he got a Studio Series figure some years ago, which was solid. I debated on getting that. I probably will pick him up one day. I think he got a plush in the Age of Extinction toy line, which was cool. Him and Bumblebee and Optimus, and I think Grimlock. They all got these plushy type figures. Um, I can't remember. I think he got like a one step changer. There's been like a pop figurines. Like he's gotten a handful of collectibles. Um, so here he is with Barricade, and they look really good together, especially since these are both, Transformers Prime Cyberverse figures. Originally, this was Smokescreen, and I really love this mold, and this was Transformers Prime Knockout, and having them both be repainted to represent two characters from the Bayverse, I think are really really cool, especially since, like I said, one of the downfalls of the Age of Extinction toy line, there weren't any villains. I mean, the only two villains we got were, if you don't count the Japanese figures, were Galvatron and Lockdown, and both characters didn't even interact with each other in the movie. Um, so you only have two villains and five Autobots and four, if you don't count the extra Dinobot characters who weren't in the movie, like Snarl and Slog and Slash. You have four, so five Autobots, four Dinobots, and two villains. Yeah, I just don't know what happened. How did they screw that up? How did the designers Hasbro screw that up? Did they not realize, like, hey, we don't have a lot of villains in this toy line? Yeah, that was a big blunder on their part. But like I said, with Stinger, you get three, which is nice, but still not enough. But I have displayed Stinger, Lockdown, and my Galvatron together. The three of them do look really cool together. Just having those three villains from Age of Extinction, um, they are really cool to have together displayed. So they're all worth getting if you're interested. Of course, at this point, all three of them have gotten Studio Series toys. I would like to get the Lockdown, Studio Series Lockdown. I might get Galvatron. Like I said, I might grab the Stinger. But like I said, they look good together. And with these figures, since Barricade came out in the last night toy line, they did make a little Megatron TLK Megatron in the Legion class scale. So you could have Megatron, Barricade, Stinger, and they did make another Decepticon who appeared in the movie Berserker. They did make a 2-pack with him and Megatron, the Legion class figures, but the Berserker was a repaint of Transformers Prime Barricade. Not Barricade, Transformers Prime Breakdown, which is a really cool repaint. So if you got that 2-pack and then you got this single figure and you got this figure, you could have four Legion class movie Decepticons, not counting like the older ones from the previous movies. And then, like I said, the Autobots had Legion class figures, which were cool. So you can have a little display, which is really neat. These are really charming desk figures. I will show him with Predaking, since Predaking was in the Commander class in the Cyberverse toy line. So you can see the difference in scale between a Commander Cyberverse toy and a regular standard Cyberclass Prime figure. And they look good together. They look really cool together. So I dig it. Um, okay, so now we have Takara exclusive Decepticon Stinger. And again, this figure is still phenomenal. Still a very charming figure. I forgot how much I paid for him. I think I got him for a good deal. Maybe like $50, which was a good deal. I think he was new in packaging. I wish I kept the packaging. I know I have his instruction manual, but really wish I kept the packaging. So you can see how they look together. Of course, completely different design, but still very charming. Supposed to be the same character. They look really charming together. See, yeah, they look charming together. One of the cool things about him is that if you pull his mask up, he looks more like Cliff Jumper. He has just green eyes. He doesn't look menacing. Like he just looks like a red bumblebee. But the mask on this repaint, the mask was more designed to look like how he looks in the movie. So you pull the mask down and it hides his eyes, and he looks more sinister. He looks more evil, menacing. Like I said, I love the built-in arm cannon, the throwing stars on the back that you can remove and have him hold them. Like I say, he has his joints are still stiff. The paint, glossy paint, everything about him. This figure is very charming. I'm glad I got him when I did. Um, so yeah, Stinger, and Cyberverse Stinger together. Um, so yeah, I'll show them together. So to end things off, like I said, if you're interested, you can get your hands. I recommend them. Again, don't pay. Try not to pay those overpriced prices. Like I get he was an exclusive. I get at the time this was like your only way to get this character, but it's not worth it. It's not it's not worth $30. Um, so I decided I will try to take these two with me when I leave for basic, since they are small and compact. I'm sure I could put them somewhere tucked away where they won't be detected, and just have a little piece of home and a piece of my childhood with me when I'm away, starting my new path in life. Like I said, a little update because I don't want this video to be too long. Already 21 minutes. As of this recording, today is Thursday. So yesterday, I went to the Army recruiter office. Had a very positive experience. Met my recruiter. I took a practice test to see how where I was and how well I would score on the real test. I did pretty decent. I need some work in some areas, but I decided since I've been studying for this on and off for months. I mean, the year's almost over. So the beginning of last year is when I kind of started, studying and researching about the military. Um, so I decided to schedule my test for next Tuesday. That gives me what 5 days, 5 days to prepare myself. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that all will go well. I don't know if I'll do. I might do a follow up video just talking about that experience. Um, but yeah, so like I said before, if I'm leaving to be in the military, and like I said, I have to go through basic training, which is 10 weeks and all that stuff. I don't know when I'll have the downtime to do videos. Of course, I probably won't be able to do any new toy reviews because I'll be moving around. I won't be in a stable, I won't be in one place for a long period of time. So I wouldn't be able to order a collectible and do a video on it. Um, my TikToks might slow down as well because again, I don't know when I'll be able to pull my phone out and record a 10-minute video talking about a piece of media. um, which is unfortunate, but that doesn't, like I said, I love being a content creator. I love making videos. I love talking about toys, doing toy reviews. I love being a collector. So that won't stop. Those passions and hobbies will not stop. They're just going to be put on hold for a while due to my current plans or my current choice, career path, however you want to put it. But with that being said, wish me luck. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Like I said, next video might be, like I said, a follow-up video in regards to me taking the ASVAB, or I might do a video on an older figure that might deserve a re-review or I just never got around to talking about. But yeah, peace, you guys.